Hello and welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the headlines of the day. Supreme Court to pronounce order on Maharashtra government formation tomorrow. Centre says Governor Koshyari exercised discretion in the matter. Shiv Sena, NCP and the Congress submit letter of support of 162 MLAs to the governor. Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha disrupted over developments in Maharashtra. Opposition demands suspension of work under Rule 267 in the Rajya Sabha. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu dismisses notice, says matter under consideration of the court. To mark 70th year of the adoption of Constitution, joint session of two houses to be held in Central Hall of Parliament tomorrow. President, Vice President and the Prime Minister to address the special event. Also, to mark the 250th session of the Rajya Sabha, a commemorative 250 rupee coin, postage stamp and souvenir to be released. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses election rally in Jharkhand, targets opposition parties on Naxalism, questions intentions as well as policies of the Congress and its allies, asserts the BJP will provide a stable and strong government in the state. And markets surge to record high. Sensex closes at 40,889 with a gain of 550 points. Nifty touches 12,078 points. The pre-lunch session of the upper house was washed away on Monday as the opposition parties stalled the proceedings of the house over developments in Maharashtra. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu rejected the Rule 267 notice tendered by the opposition parties, saying the matter was sub judice. He also cited rules of discussion about the conduct of officials in high offices, including that of the governor.
As per the Article 356 of the Constitution, every proclamation issued under it, either for imposition of revocation of the President rule in a state, is required to be laid before each House of Parliament. As per the ruling given by the Chairman in 24th April 1989, the role of Governor in relation to proclamation issued by the President under Article 356 can be discussed only when such a proclamation is laid before the House and becomes a property. No proclamation with regard to revocation has been laid on the table of the House. In the instant case, the Maharashtra proclamation is in question is still to be laid on the table of the House. Moreover, as per media reports, the issuance of the proclamation has been challenged in the Supreme Court and the matter is also sub judice. This ruling was given earlier by Sri Late R. Venkatraman, who was the chairman of the House and subsequently who became the President of India.
Union Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi said that the governor's decision can be discussed only through a substantive motion, and no such motion has been brought in by the opposition. He also alleged that the Congress, Shiv Sena and the NCP were trying to hijack democracy in the state of Maharashtra.
इस सदन की और उस सदन की बहुत स्पष्ट व्यवस्था है कि राज्यपाल की किसी भी निर्णय या गतिविधि पर चर्चा के लिए सब्स्टेंटिव मोशन लाने की जरूरत होती है और वो चेयरमैन या स्पीकर साहब पर तय करता है कि वो उसे स्वीकार करते हैं कि नहीं करते। सर, सवाल यहाँ पर ये नहीं पैदा होता, सवाल ये पैदा होता है कि जनतंत्र को जुगाड़ तंत्र से अपहरण करने की कोशिश हो रही है। जनतंत्र का जुगाड़ तंत्र से अपहरण करने की कोशिश हो रही है। जनता ने भारतीय जनता पार्टी और साथियों को जनादेश दिया है। आज जो है, जो लोग की सरकार बनाने के लिए क्लेम तक नहीं करने गए, वो आज जुगाड़ के माध्यम से जनतंत्र का अपहरण कर रहे हैं। एक बात समझ लेना चाहिए, जब जनतंत्र भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ है तो जुगाड़ तंत्र और और जुगाड़ तंत्र का जुगाड़ नहीं चलेगा। एक चीज, दूसरी महत्वपूर्ण चीज है सर, मैं पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर पे हूँ सर, दूसरी महत्वपूर्ण चीज है कि शरद पवार जी यहाँ के बहुत सम्मानित सदस्य हैं, उनको समझ लेना चाहिए, वो खेल के भी बहुत खिलाड़ी है। जब पिच स्लिपरी होती है, जब पिच जो है वो फिसलन वाली होती है, तो उस पर रन आउट बहुत जल्दी होता है। और आज स्थिति यही है कि उस स्लिपरी पिच पर जो है वो खेलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और दौड़ने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और रन आउट होना तय है।
As the opposition parties refuse to relent, Chairman adjourned the House till 2 p.m. The protests by opposition members over political developments paralyzed the proceedings of the upper house in the post-lunch session as well. Deputy Chairman Harivansh made repeated appeals to the members to allow the House to function, but as the protests continued unabated, he also adjourned the House till Tuesday.
When the House reassembled at 2 p.m., opposition parties protested over the political developments in Maharashtra. Deputy Chairman Harivansh made fervent appeals to the members to allow the House to function.
माननीय चेयरमैन साहब ने क्या कहा, अंडर रूल 238 refer to any matter of fact on which a judicial decision is pending, reflect upon the conduct of persons in high authority unless the discussion is based on a substantive motion drawn in a proper terms. Substantive motion. Second thing, the words persons in high authority mean persons whose conduct can only be discussed on a substantive motion drawn in a proper terms under the Constitution, or such other persons whose conduct in the opinion of the chairman should be discussed on a substantive motion drawn in the terms to be approved by him. As per ruling given by the chairman Rajya Sabha on 24th April 1989, the role of governor in relation to proclamation issued by the president under Article 356 can be discussed only when such a proclamation is laid before the House and becomes its property. In the instant case of Maharashtra, the proclamation in question is still to be laid on the table of the House. Moreover, as per the media reports, the issuance of the proclamation has been challenged in the Supreme Court, as such the matter becomes sub judice. So it's clear. I will not allow this Transgender Protection of Rights Bill 2019. अगर इस पर आपका पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर है तो मैं अलाउ करूंगा. पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर रूल इज वेरी क्लियर कि जो हाउस के सामने बिजनेस है उस पर अगर आप कुछ कहेंगे आई विल अलाउ, अदरवाइज आई विल नॉट अलाउ. नो, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू. माननीय सदस्यगण, इस पर माननीय चेयरमैन कह चुके हैं, पुनः मैंने इसको दोहरा दिया, स्पष्ट कर दिया स्थिति. रूल्स के अनुसार अगर इस बिल पर, यह बहुत महत्वपूर्ण और मानवीय मुद्दा है, अगर इस बिल पर पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर है तो मैं एक्सेप्ट करने को तैयार.
As the protest continued, the deputy chairman adjourned the House till 2 p.m. on Tuesday.
The House stands adjourned till 2 p.m. on Tuesday, the 26th November 2019.
Kriti Mishra's report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Earlier, the International Financial Services Centres Authority Bill 2019 was withdrawn from Rajya Sabha on Monday. The bill seeks to create a unified financial regulator in India to provide world-class regulatory environment to financial market participants. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs had approved the withdrawal of the bill, which was introduced in the Rajya Sabha in February this year and was pending there. The bill will now be introduced in the Lok Sabha.
Bill for withdrawal. The International Financial Services Centres Authority Bill 2019. Sri Anurag Singh Thakur moved to leave to withdrawal the International Financial Services Centres Authority Bill 2019.
Sir, I on my senior colleague move to withdraw the bill, IFSC bill.
The question is that leave be granted to withdraw the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted and the bill is withdrawn by the leave of the House.
In the Lok Sabha, vehement protests by opposition members, especially those of the Congress party over political developments in Maharashtra, forced adjournments of its proceedings for the entire day. Congress members stormed the well of the House, carrying placards and a big banner sporting slogans against the swearing-in of a BJP-led government in the state. The House was first adjourned till noon and then till 2 p.m. before being adjourned for the day. A joint session of Parliament will be held on the 70th Constitution Day on Tuesday. The day marks the adoption of the Indian Constitution in 1949. Proceedings of the individual Houses of Parliament will begin after the joint session at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Constitution Day will be celebrated at the Central Hall of Parliament House on Tuesday with a joint session of both Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. This year is the 70th anniversary of the day that marks the formal adoption of the Constitution of India. The program will start with the national anthem at 11 a.m., followed by addresses by the President, Vice President, the Prime Minister and the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs. Also, to mark the 250th session of the Rajya Sabha, the President will release a commemorative silver coin of 250 rupees, a postal stamp of 5 rupees and a volume with articles by ministers, present and former members of the Rajya Sabha and experts on the functioning of the upper house. The Atal National Youth Parliament Scheme portal will also be opened on the occasion.
इस साल वैसे संविधान का 70 साल पूरा हो रहा है, इसलिए पार्लियामेंट का जो सेंट्रल हॉल है, सेंट्रल हॉल में महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी उनका उद्बोधन, उसके साथ उपराष्ट्रपति जी, प्रधानमंत्री जी, लोकसभा का स्पीकर, ऐसे देश के प्रमुख जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पोजीशन में जो है ऐसे सभी नेताओं का भाषण होंगे। ये फिर एक बार भारत का संविधान जो 70 साल हो चुका है, वो संविधान के प्रति हमारी प्रतिबद्धता और श्रद्धा इसका प्रकट करने का एक अवसर होगा।
In addition to MPs of both houses, former Prime Ministers and former Presidents are among the invitees to the joint session of both houses.
संविधान के प्रति देश में और जागरूकता होनी चाहिए। 70 साल बाद भी आज भी ऐसी स्थिति है कि लोग संविधान के बारे में अपना मौलिक अधिकार, मौलिक कर्तव्य ये सब नहीं जानते हैं।
दुनिया का सबसे अच्छा संविधान हमने हिंदुस्तान को दिया है और कोई वजह नहीं है कि ये काम ना हो। अगर किसी वजह से अगर फेल होता है तो जो लोग इसको लागू करने वाले हैं उसकी विफलता होगी, वो संविधान की विफलता होगी।
The Constituent Assembly adopted the Constitution on 26 November 1949. Since 2015, the NDA government has been celebrating the day as Constitution Day. A living document, the Constitution has seen 103 amendments so far. 32 relate to the matters of states, including reorganization, transfer of territories, conferring statehood or union territory, delimitation of constituencies, making special provisions in respect of some states, inclusion of some languages in the 8th schedule of the Constitution, etc.
It's been 70 years of adoption of our Constitution, and on occasion of this special day, on 26th of November, there will be a major function in this Central Hall of the Parliament. And from here, the major programs will be launched across the country throughout the year to commemorate this special day. And also, government is trying to make aware its citizen about fundamental duties given in Indian Constitution. With Cameron Dushmanta from Central Hall of the Parliament, this is Panchanan Mishra for Rajya Sabha TV.
On to the other big story of the day now. The Supreme Court will pass an order on Tuesday on the issue of floor test for the Maharashtra government led by Devendra Fadnavis, whose swearing-in has been challenged by the Shiv Sena, NCP, Congress combined. The centre on Monday maintained that the BJP had the support of all 54 NCP MLAs to form a government in Maharashtra and asked the Supreme Court for 2 to 3 days to reply to the plea against Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari's decision. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta told the top court that the Maharashtra governor is not supposed to conduct a roving and fishing inquiry to ascertain which party has numbers to form the government. The Solicitor General explained that the governor had invited Shiv Sena, BJP and NCP for government formation, and the President's rule was imposed only after the three parties had failed. As the hearing began on Monday morning, Mehta submitted letters of the governor and also the Chief Minister Fadnavis as asked by the bench. Appearing for the Shiv Sena, senior advocate Kapil Sibal said the combine has affidavits from 154 Maharashtra MLAs and that the BJP should be asked to prove its majority within 24 hours if it has the numbers. Senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi, appearing for the NCP and the Congress, termed it a fraud of the worst kind and asked whether even a single NCP MLA had told Ajit Pawar that he supported him to go with the BJP. And in Mumbai, a delegation of Shiv Sena, NCP and the Congress visited Raj Bhavan to stake their claim to form the government in the state. The three parties submitted a letter to the Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari, claiming that they have the requisite numbers to form a government in Maharashtra. Meanwhile, NCP President Sharad Pawar said that Shiv Sena, NCP and the Congress alliance will prove its majority and also form a government in Maharashtra. Speaking to media persons, Pawar said that the BJP has misled the governor and staked claim to form the government in spite of not having the majority. Whereas Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut said that the three parties have signatures of all their respective MLAs and will submit the list to the Supreme Court. And from the Supreme Court and the Parliament, political action in Maharashtra shifted to a five-star hotel by Monday evening. MLAs of the Shiv Sena, NCP and the Congress, along with top leaders of the three parties, gathered at a luxury hotel for a show of strength hours after staking claim to form a government in Maharashtra. The alliance of the three parties claimed support of 162 MLAs, way above the majority mark of 145 in the 288-member Maharashtra Assembly. Time for a short break here, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Do stay with us.
Three million people have now given the thumbs up to Rajya Sabha television. RSTV's growth has been phenomenal, with the journey from 2 million to 3 million being completed in less than 6 months. That's over 6,200 new subscribers every day. Our online viewers are engaging with us more actively. Every day, thousands like, share and comment on our videos. So come and join this growing tribe of RSTV viewers and get ready for an exciting journey.
Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. Campaigning has intensified in the poll-bound state of Jharkhand. On Monday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed two election rallies in Daltonganj and Gumla. Addressing the gathering in Gumla, the Prime Minister targeted the opposition, saying that the Congress and its allies used Naxalites for their politics and then pretended to fight against them. While the BJP-led government has made tremendous efforts to eliminate Naxalism in the state.
पहले कांग्रेस और उसके सहयोगियों की सरकारें चाहे यहां रही हो या फिर दिल्ली में, उनकी नीति और नीयत दोनों में खोट था। वे नक्सलवादियों को अपनी राजनीति के लिए उपयोग भी करते थे और फिर उनके खिलाफ लड़ाई का दिखावा भी करते थे। लेकिन बीते 5 वर्ष में केंद्र और राज्य की भाजपा सरकार ने पूरे तालमेल के साथ इस समस्या का समाधान करने की तरफ कदम उठाए हैं।
The Prime Minister also said that the BJP has included Gumla district under the 112 districts which were lagging behind in development and called them aspiring districts rather than backward districts.
भाजपा की सरकार ने गुमला को देश के उन 112 जिलों में शामिल किया जो विकास की गति में थोड़े पीछे रह गए थे। हमने इन जिलों को पिछड़ा नहीं, आकांक्षी जिला कहा।
Earlier, while addressing an election rally in Daltonganj, the Prime Minister said the issue of Naxalism in the state is due to the political instability which Jharkhand witnessed for several years, adding that the BJP gave Jharkhand a stable government and worked towards ending corruption in the state.
भाजपा ने झारखंड को एक स्थिर सरकार दी है। भाजपा ने झारखंड में भ्रष्टाचार समाप्त करने के लिए दिन रात काम किया है, पारदर्शी व्यवस्थाएं बनाई है। भाजपा ने झारखंड को लूटने से बचाया है, यहां समृद्धि का मार्ग खोला है। भाजपा ने झारखंड के हर समाज के हर व्यक्ति को सम्मान से जीने का हक दिलाया है, उसका गौरव बढ़ाया। भाजपा ने झारखंड को नक्सलवाद और अपराध से मुक्ति दिलाने के लिए, भय मुक्त वातावरण के लिए प्रयास किया है।
Polling in Jharkhand is scheduled to be held in 5 phases, starting 30th November till the 20th of December. The Supreme Court issued notices to Delhi, Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh on Monday, seeking reports from them on air quality, drinking water and garbage disposal. The top court also asked the centre to take a concrete decision within 10 days on having smoke towers in Delhi NCR in order to combat pollution. The apex court expressed displeasure over the performance of all 3 neighbouring states and Delhi in combating air pollution. The bench termed as alarming the stubble burning situation and said not only the state machinery but farmers were also responsible for it. The court, in fact, also slammed the Punjab and Haryana governments for increase in stubble burning despite its order prohibiting it, and said people in Delhi cannot be left to die due to air pollution. It also sought a report from the Central Pollution Control Board and the concerned states on the steps taken to check pollution in rivers, including Ganga and Yamuna. Taking serious note of water pollution in Delhi, it said people have the right to get pure drinking water. Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri on Monday launched the Credit Link Subsidy Scheme, or the CLSS housing portal under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban Scheme. An agreement in this regard has also been shared between the Ministry of Urban Development and the state governments. The states of Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu and Tripura have been included in the scheme. At the launch event, Hardeep Singh Puri said that the CLSS portal will ensure transparency in the scheme, and through it, people will be able to track the status of their applications for subsidy. Under CLSS, the centre provides interest subsidy of up to around 2,67,000 rupees on home loans to individuals, which reduces the principal outstanding amount of the loan.
Between the beginning of 2015 and June in particular now, the demand assessment has not changed very much. We've taken it up from 1 crore to 1 crore 12 lakhs. So it's about 11.2 million now. That is the total number of homes which will be required. With 3 years still to go for the operation of the scheme, because the scheme has started in June 2015 and it has to conclude by 2022. As the Secretary mentioned, we have already sanctioned 9.3 million. So 93 lakh homes have already been sanctioned.
Equity benchmark Sensex surged nearly 530 points to scale a new closing peak of 40,889.23 on Monday. buoyed by renewed optimism over US-China trade deal and also the government's divestment measures to curb fiscal deficit. While the Nifty at the National Stock Exchange also spurted 159 points or 1.4% to close at 12,074. And now let's talk about environment and climate change. With the Western Ghats traversing Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Goa, Maharashtra and Gujarat, 11% of the carbon emissions from these 6 states and 1.62% of India's total emissions are sequestered by the forests in this green zone. These figures were part of a new study led by the Bengaluru-based Indian Institute of Science. The 2-member IISc team found that the forest ecosystem of the Western Ghats, one of 36 global biodiversity hotspots, stores 1,230 million tons of carbon in vegetation and soil worth 100 billion rupees. Each year, there is an annual increase of 37.5 million tons of carbon across the states that fall under this region. Researchers said that assessment of the Western Ghats' potential to sequester carbon is important in the backdrop of India's commitment to reduce emissions by 33% to 35% by the year 2030 during the Paris Climate Change Agreement. Currently, India emits 7% of the world's total greenhouse gas emissions and is the 4th highest carbon emitter after China, which emits 27%, the United States, which emits 15%, and the European Union, which emits 10%. So that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you for your time.
Watch The Big Picture with me.